Okay, today we're talking about rational exponents. Rational is anything that can be written as a fraction. These we are going to be focused in on today, for the most part, are just the regular fractions. There will be some negative fractions, and so in the negative fractions, remember that's just flipping flipping the final answer over. So let's say we have 8 to the 2/3. How this translates is the exponent is done as power over root. And so what that means, this is the cubed root of 8 squared. Another way you could have written this, and this is typically how I will write them to start off with each time, is I'll do the cubed root of 8, that quantity squared. The reason I write it this way is if I can simplify the cubed root of 8, it's easier to work with than squaring 8, getting 64, and then find the cube root. It lets me work with smaller numbers. It doesn't always work to where this helps, but if it does, it's a great tool to use. And so that's going to be the cubed root of 8. 8 is made up of 2 times 2 times 2. So one set of 3 2's. And so a 2 comes out. We're raising it to the second power. 2 to the second power is 4. So 4 is the same thing as 8 to the 2/3. On your homework tonight, you'll be given a set of numbers and you have to match in the same row all the ones that are equivalent. In other words, all the ones that will reduce to the same item, same number, and will be simplified. And so let's go ahead and look at these first two. These are going to simplify to the same answer. Let's see how they do that. So let's look here. We have the power over root solution. So we go ahead and I'm going to do it my way I'd like to start with. So 125, the cubed root of 125 squared. So let me look at that 125. What is 125 made up of? 125 is the same thing as 5 times 5 times 5. And if you have troubles trying to see what it is, remember this is where we did the upside down division when we were dealing with radicals, simplifying the radicals. So we have one set of 5's that come out, nothing that got left behind, and we're going to square it. So the number this is going to result in is 25. So thinking back to what in the last video you had with negative exponents cause the fraction to flip. And so we have 5 squared, because that negative is going to take and flip the fraction, so that's 5 over 1 that we're squaring, which is just 5 squared. That answer is 25. For question 3, I want you to find the one in the set and the problems I listed on the side would reduce to the same answer. So in other words, which one of those answers is going to give you a 25? Okay, let's go to our next set of problems. So we're going to go ahead and these are going to both reduce to the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and start with number 4. And I'm going to see if it's better for me to write this as the cubed root of 100, that quantity squared. Or is it 1,000? So what is 1,000? What are the prime numbers that 1,000 is made up of? And so let me go ahead and simplify and see what those are. So 1,000 is divisible by 2, which gives me 500, which is divisible by 2, which gives me 250, which is divisible by 2, give me 125. Now, let's take in that 125. So we have 125 is divisible by, not divisible by 2, divisible by 5, which gives me 25, which is divisible by 5, which gives me 5. So I'm looking for a set of 3 because that's what my index is. So I have a set of 3 2s and I have a set of 3 5s. So 2 times 5 is 10. That being raised to the second power. So 10 squared, 10 times 10 is 100. So that's what that simplifies down to. So let's go ahead and look at this next one. We have 50 times the cubed root of 8. And the cubed root of 8 is 8 times 8 times 8 is 2. Or excuse me, 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So we have a set of 2's that's going to come out. And so let's see which one. So if we have 50 times that set of 2's that came out, so 100. Let's look at this next one. So let's use what we have. We're going to go ahead and convert this into a rational exponent. And we're going to use our properties of exponents. So we have 16x raised to the 3/4. From our properties of exponents, I know this distributes. So I have 16 to the 3/4, and I have x to the 3/4. So let's go ahead and look at that 16 to the 3/4 first. And so I'm going to go ahead and convert that back into a radical form. And so let's look at 16. What is 16 made up of? It's made up of 4 2's being multiplied together. So when I'm looking at the fourth root, so I have a set of 2's that came out. So 2 cubed. Now, let's look at the variable. Can 3/4 be reduced? And the answer is no. Is it a proper fraction? Is the numerator smaller than the denominator? And the answer is yes. So I am going to leave this just as 3/4. This is 8 times x to 3/4. Another way this could have been written is 8 times the fourth root of x cubed. So those are the same as what we have up here.